Now, they'll tell you that they're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. But on today's episode of Musk CTV, the kids at Doge, they're looking into one of life's two certainties, taxes, apparently on their march to make death, in this case the death of the American dream, more fiscally efficient. We have a breaking ABC News update on the tax that Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is taking on the government bureaus, you know, the ones that keep things moving, so people have the luxury of living in a functioning democracy, well, at least for the moment. Now, in this case, the man who towers over Trump is targeting not just the IRS, but a specific system within the service. It's called the Integrated Data Retrieval System, and it's used by the IRS, by the employees, to review a person's tax information, issue notices, update taxpayer records. The database includes such private information as your Social Security number and your details on how much you earn and how much you owe and properties and even details related to child custody agreements. Access to these files is tightly controlled within the agency and apparently had not been granted so far this weekend, but as you'll see in our clip coming up, there's some confusion on that point. Now, keep it all in mind that this chaos, Musk in the White House, they've not yet said what federal data the Doge team has been able to get at or what's being done with that data once it's been acquired.
I do. I think Elon's doing a good job. He's a big cost cutter. Sometimes we won't agree with it and we'll not go where he wants to go, but I think he's doing a great job. He's a smart guy, very smart, and he's very much into cutting the budget of our federal government.
Well, when pressed last week by reporters on what checks are in place to ensure that he, Musk, whose companies have billions of dollars in federal contracts, how is he not advantaging that? Well, before his son smeared snot on the Resolute desk, this is what X's old man had to say.
So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization.
Has anyone actually asked what he actually knows? I mean, there seems to be this presumption that his frame of reference regarding transparency, frankly, on anything, is qualified by exactly what? I mean, this is a guy who shows up at the Oval Office, dressed like he wants to be the fourth guy in Run DMC. Well, in today's great story from ABC News, let's see what havoc the letters DOGE are wreaking on the letters IRS here in what's left of the USA. From ABC News earlier.
Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency seeking access to an IRS database with Americans' personal tax information. Musk has alleged that federal workers were defrauding taxpayers, but hasn't provided any evidence or examples. Now government officials and privacy experts are warning that granting him access to Americans' private taxpayer data could be extraordinarily dangerous. Meanwhile, the White House is acknowledging some federal employees who accepted the Trump administration's buyout offer were fired by mistake. This is several hundred FAA employees say they received termination notices. Let's bring in White House correspondent Mary Alice Parks for more on that. So, Mary Alice, what do we know so far about why Doge wants this access and why it's raising concerns?
Yeah, Dan, I think that this news speaks to just the uncertainty and confusion across the federal government right now. At one point over the weekend, the White House seemed to confirm that members of Elon Musk's team had accessed this IRS database. Like you said, it has information there for personal information for millions of Americans. But then the White House seemed to backtrack and say that, in fact, a member of Musk's team with the Department of Government Efficiency had only been onboarded at the IRS, had asked for access, requested it, is expecting to get access to this system. Look, people share their most personal information with the federal government, and they expect that it's going to be held securely, that it's going to be kept in a way that doesn't bring possible identity theft, that they can trust the system. And I think that right now privacy experts and people across the federal government are concerned about who exactly are the members of these teams that Musk is working with. Are they federal employees? Are they third-party contractors? Have they gone through any security training? Have they gotten background checks? And what are they potentially going to do with this data? Are they going to download it? Are they going to run it through any outside software? Can Americans rest assured that it's going to be protected protected, that their personal information is going to be protected. There's just a lot of questions right now. And remember, this comes at a time where the IRS, like many other federal agencies, are bracing for big layoffs. We heard over the weekend that as many as 15,000 IRS workers are being told they should expect to potentially be laid off even in the middle of this busy tax season, Diane.
I, for one, worry that the maximally transparent parent might not be that at all. But often from the mouths of babes comes the truth.
Yeah, we're in SpaceX and quietly just do whatever we want.
You think it's done?
You think it's done?
Yeah.
But never know.
And apparently sometimes out of their nose comes the proof. Elon Musk picked his winner this election year, and now he owns him. Lock, stock, and...